Let's face it, cruising is getting more expensive every year. If you're like me and love to cruise on a budget, then stay tuned because today I'm sharing my best money-saving cruise hacks. Hey fellow travelers, it's Zoe with MomDocTravels. Welcome back to my channel. With many people turning to cruising now than ever before, demand is high and prices are on the rise. Cruising is one of the most easy and carefree ways to travel, but there are so many ways to stretch your budget, so let's dive right in. Number 1, know when to book. Prices for cruise fares are the lowest when cruises are first released. Often this means you need to book 18 to 24 months before the sail date. Not only does this save you money, it also allows you to get the pick of the best cabin locations on board. Although in recent months, cruising has become more popular and last-minute deals are harder to come by, if you are flexible with your travel dates, you may still be able to snag a last-minute deal, especially if you're looking to cruise within 90 days of departure, as this is when most cruisers' final payments have been made and any leftover cabins get discounted. Cruise lines hate to sail with empty cabins, so booking last minute may offer quite a bargain. Number 2, know when to sail. If you are looking to get the best deal, avoid the peak travel season for your preferred destination. There are peak travel times depending on where you plan to sail. If you're looking to save money and avoid the crowds, consider sailing in the shoulder season. For example, the Alaska cruise season typically runs from late April to late October. However, peak season is June, July, and August. So if you book your Alaska cruise in May or even September, you're likely going to get the best rates and have fewer crowds. If sailing to the Caribbean, choose to sail anytime from September to early December, with the exception of the holidays, as this is a great time to find discounted cruise fare. Similarly, if sailing to the Mediterranean, cruising in April or May, or September and October offer better weather and fewer crowds too. Tip number 3, price monitoring is key. This is my favorite tip and something many travelers don't think to do. After you book your cruise, check the fare often. It could be weekly or even monthly. If the price of your cruise drops before final payment, then you can call a cruise line and get the price adjusted to the lower rate, or even get onboard credit for the difference. Sometimes, even after final payment, there can be a cruise credit offered depending on the cruise line. You can also register for free with a website like cruiseline.com, who will send you an email to notify you when the price of your cruise drops. If you are finding these tips helpful, then I'd really appreciate it if you would hit the like button and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. It allows me to continue to share my best travel tips. Tip number 4, work with a travel agent. Not only can they monitor and auto-adjust the price of your cruise for you, most travel agents don't charge a fee to book, and they help you navigate the various cruise deals, and sometimes they will even offer you onboard credit. They can help by saving you money by offering group rates and can even get access to exclusive deals and promotions. Travel agents are also able to monitor cruise fare, so when your cruise price drops, they'll automatically apply that discount. Tip number 5, book a repositioning cruise. When a cruise line needs to move a ship from one port to another, the cruise is often at sea for many days, and with fewer ports of call, the rates for cabins are much less, and it's a great way to snag a good deal. Tip number 6, check for promos. Cruise lines often run promotions such as a reduced deposit, resident discounts based on your home state or country, or my favorite promo, kids sail free. For example, military and healthcare discounts are commonly offered by cruise lines such as MSC, which offers 5% off on every sailing, or even Margaritaville at Sea, which offers free cruises for healthcare heroes and teachers, and special deals for college students and solo travelers. So make sure to look out for these deals when booking your next cruise. Another way to save money is to stay brand loyal. If you have a certain cruise line that you prefer to sail with, join their loyalty program. The more you sail, the more you can earn points that can come with perks such as free drinks, priority embarkation, free laundry, and even spa discounts or shopping discounts once on board. Tip number 8, book an inside cabin. If you're the type of cruiser who doesn't spend a lot of time in your stateroom, you can save hundreds or even thousands of dollars by booking an interior cabin. While these cabins don't have a window to the outside, they offer all of the same amenities as an ocean view or balcony with a little less square footage, but can be worth it for the amount of money saved. Tip number 9, book a guarantee cabin. A guarantee cabin is where you allow the cruise line to choose your stateroom for you. You will get your cabin assignment a few weeks before you set sail. This is usually the most affordable option because you don't get to choose your cabin location. Once all of the other cabins have been assigned to other passengers, you get the assignment of whatever's left over. This is a great option if you're not picky about your cabin location on board. On a recent Disney cruise, I chose to book a guaranteed rate and was assigned an ocean view accessible cabin on deck 7. It was ultra spacious and worked out wonderfully for us. However, keep in mind, you could also be given a cabin in a less desirable part of the ship, so you'll have to decide if it's worth the risk. On that same note, you can elect to, number 10, bid for a cabin upgrade. Most cruise lines now have a bidding program option. Once you select your cabin category, you can choose to bid for a higher cabin category on the same cruise. Once again, you won't necessarily choose your cabin location. However, you can save money if you win the bid for a higher category stateroom. On our recent Royal Caribbean Freedom of the Seas cruise, I won a bid for a cabin upgrade, and we were upgraded to an ultra spacious ocean view cabin on deck 10. The one downside to this is we were right under deck 11, which happened to be the pool deck and where mini golf was taking place, but that didn't bother us too much. Tip number 11, sail from a local port. If you live within driving distance to a cruise port, you have the added advantage of being able to save money on airfare and just drive to the cruise port directly. And if you're driving to the port, don't forget about park and cruise package options. Tip number 12, you can often save money by not parking directly at the cruise port, but at a nearby hotel and using their included shuttle to drop you at the cruise terminal. These bundle packages often include a pre-cruise hotel stay for a discounted rate. If you don't plan to drive or rent a car, there are many options for getting to the cruise port on embarkation day. While many may be tempted for the convenience of a cruise line provided transportation, this is often much more expensive and time-consuming since you will have to wait for all passengers and their luggage to be loaded onto a shuttle. Your best bet in saving money and time is to use rideshare or a local transportation company. Tip number 13, don't be afraid to go old or small. While we see cruise lines building bigger and newer ships every year, don't neglect the smaller or older ships on each cruise line. While they may not have all of the fancy bells and whistles of the newest ships in the fleet, they still offer amazing onboard activities for all ages with a more personalized touch. The crew to passenger ratio on older and smaller ships is usually better, making for a more memorable and personalized cruising experience. And if time is a factor, don't hesitate to take, tip number 14, a quick weekend cruise. Some people don't have a lot of vacation time available, but that doesn't mean they can't go and enjoy a quick break for some fun and relaxation. 3 to 4 day sailings are usually more affordable than week-long cruises and are a great way to check out a new location without breaking the bank. Tip number 15, book your own excursion. I have never booked a cruise line-based excursion, and I've been sailing since 1997. I personally don't enjoy being herded like cattle or having to wait in large groups just to get my fun started. Using a company such as Viator or Shore Excursions Group allows you to get the same experience in port but at a much cheaper rate. And if you're afraid of taking a non-cruise line sponsored excursion for fear of being left behind in port, booking a company or tour that offers a back-to-ship-in-time guarantee will make your experience worthwhile. Just be sure to allow an extra 1 hour or so before all aboard time in case of any delays. On our recent cruise to the Caribbean, we stopped in Tortola, the British Virgin Islands. The cruise line-based excursion for a beach break, day at the beach, was offered at $136 per person, meaning it would have cost us $408 for transportation to and from the beach and an included lunch. Instead, we hopped off the ship early, took an open-air taxi for $24 per person round trip, and picked up beach eats from a local full-service beachside restaurant. That only cost us $30. So for $100, we enjoyed a longer day at the beach and did not have to rush back to the ship in a group, but left when we wanted, all while saving $300 on our excursion that day. Tip number 16, book your next cruise while on board your current cruise. Before you disembark your current cruise, don't forget to visit the next cruise desk. It's here that you can reserve an open booking, often at a reduced rate, without locking in the date of travel or destination. By putting down a small deposit or placeholder, you can put that toward a future cruise and even transfer it to your travel agent later on. This can also be combined with even more offers. Tip number 17, status match. MSC Cruise Line and Virgin Voyages are the two cruise lines so far that will status match your loyalty level from one cruise line to another. They will even status match your hotel loyalty so that you can take advantage of their perks and save money. Tip number 18, pack smart. This is something that many new cruisers don't consider. The cost of basic essentials on board are very expensive. So when packing for your trip, don't forget to pack toiletries and essential medications from home. If you haven't already checked out my doctor-recommended medications for travel video, I'll link it here and in the description box below. Don't forget, many cruise lines allow you to do your own laundry for free, meaning you can pack less clothing and even save on your checked bag fees when flying with certain airlines. And if you do plan a DIY excursion at a local beach, packing your own beach toys for kids or snorkel equipment can save you money on rentals. Tip number 19, apply for a cruise line-based credit card. Sometimes the sign-up bonuses for cruise line-based credit cards are worth the extra perks. And tip number 20, book specialty dining and spa packages for use on embarkation day or on a port day, as there are usually specials and promotions on these days. And when booking the specialty restaurants and using the spa on those days, it's generally less crowded as well. Now, if you have any money-saving tips or hacks, share with all of us in the comment section below. And until next time, don't forget to take the trip. It's just what the doctor ordered.